Welcome to Golden Guys. It's Tuesday night. I'm in location with Lewis over here at Lewis's, and I got Mike over here. How we doing, Mike?
Great. How you doing? I'm
Good.
on my table. I've been taking some photography of toys and stuff, so I got my little light box thingy.
Nice. Yep.
But
I saw you put out a few of your cool pictures right there.
it's pretty fun.
Pretty fun indeed. Very cool. Well, good having everybody here. Sorry we haven't been around lately, but after that Black Hack show, we needed a little break because he rocked us for 3.5 hours of just pure fun and excitement, and we had a good time. Nights we're gonna show some of the stuff from the signature auction for Heritage that's coming up real soon. A lot to talk about in that auction. I mean, you've got the Triple Crown is available for Golden Age. I mean, first Cap, first Superman, first Batman are in it, which is rare that you get all three of them on a kind of a, I'm not going to say affordable level, but a level that isn't. I mean, they're going to be crazy, but it's, how do I put this? You're not going to. These aren't the Mile High copies. There is a Promise collection in there, as well as there's a few other interesting items that are in there that you don't really see.
Is this the one that has Suspense 3 too?
No, that's later on. There is a Suspense 3 coming on in 2022. Just to let everybody know, it is out there. If you haven't seen it, it's probably in February.
I think it's, I was gonna say, I think it might actually be next month, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's not on Heritage.
Yeah, it's a different auction.
It's on the link, comic link there.
And it's a 6.5, a blue label, older blue label, generation 2 or 3. Blue labels, Suspense 3. Something I've never had the pleasure of seeing in person.
I saw one pretty beat up raw copy once, but it was, I mean, the part of the cover was gone. But yeah, no, on that Suspense 365, it'd be interesting to kind of watch the market on that particular one. It's been a while. I'm trying to recall the last time one has actually come up for market. You know, it's been a bit. So
this is going to be our chat show too. We're going to definitely do a lot more with the chat today. We don't have a guest. We usually want to focus in on you guys, and we don't have anything crazy going on. Lewis has a book to show.
DS is not kicked off or anything. He's just working too much.
Oh yeah, DS is working. The way things are with his job and everything else like that, he's had to take on a few extra, like his company asked him to do clothes tonight. So he's definitely coming back for sure. Don't worry about it. But I definitely want to bring up. I'm going to talk to the chat in a little bit. Talk to everybody out there. Give us. We're going to go over these items, and we want to know what you guys think about some of these as well. But it's cool to be here and with Lewis. We've known each other a long time. This has been fun. I tried to get him to come to Baltimore, which I'm going to talk about, meeting some of you guys, especially Mr. Lee Polanski. Had an incredible booth, and he had some books that had me going scratching a little bit right there. They were really good. He had some Cheslers, so that's one of the he had some Cheslers out there. Did not find this anywhere. I said to anybody, if you show up to Baltimore with an R flag number 5 and ready to go, did not happen. But I'll talk about Baltimore. Some of the books that I did see there that I thought were really cool. Great job by Gene over at Shortbox. I heard the party was a blast. Unfortunately, I was only at Baltimore really because I was doing the Ringo Awards for the Hero Initiative and for Baltimore Comic-Con. Thanks, Jim McLaughlin.
How'd that go?
Very well, very well. It was really cool. Got to hang out with Joe Quesada for a while and talk with him. Jim McLaughlin was great. We had we liked our whiskeys. I'll tell you that. We liked our whiskeys. It would have been fun if Pete Munster, if you were there, you would have laughed at the whiskeys I found. I found a very rare Yellow Spot Irish whiskey that I never saw. I saw it in some Irish bar. I said, let's get some of that. And that was as smooth as it could be. A little mother's milk right there. But yeah, I got to see some great guys. A lot of comic book industry people. And guys at Baltimore Comic Con, they were absolutely amazing. Gave us a booth. We didn't have anything at the booth. We didn't have anything. We were there just going around. But we did talk to some people. I tried to make it to Gene's event, but I saw some great pictures, talked to a lot of people about it. Something I definitely want to do next time when I have more people other than just two of us going in there to try to do an entire award show. And we had 3 hours to get it organized, done, and ready to go. It was pretty cool. But that was Baltimore, and well, yeah. One of the quests I was on was for some good example right here is some pre-hero DCs, which means that if it was it could have been from 39. It couldn't stretch it to 40, but it could be like a book that didn't like a More Fun or something like that that really didn't start the heroes till later. But if it was in the 40s, but it was still not like in the numbers 40s, like 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. There are no heroes in those. This behind here is a Tech 10. Show that one up here. This is a Tech 10, one of the finer ones out there that are out there. I did look at a few other.
Did you get that recently?
I did. Yep.
I don't recall you showing that before. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
I tried to get him to pull the trigger on a Tech 5.
Yeah.
What year is that, and what year and month?
It's actually 37.
Wow, that's cool.
December of 37. Yeah, I've got a few here and there. I'm trying to think if I want to paint myself and trying to collect the detective run up until Batman, right? So
you have an opportunity coming up real easy, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna get it. Is that in this auction?
Yeah, there are a few in there. You know,
is the Bound one in this?
There is a Bound, yeah. So in the Heritage, they actually has
I love Bounds.
A Bound, but to try to collect the individual is kind of a tough deal. But yeah, I would say my wheelhouse is always kind of sci-fi, the horror, all of that stuff from the Golden Age. But I do like the pre-superhero adventure comics, the detective runs. Some of that. So I do really kind of enjoy that stuff. So.
Yeah, I think that's older than my oldest comic, which I believe is Action 13.
Okay, yeah, that's
38.
38.
Action 13 is 38, and that's 39, and it's May of 39, I think it is. That's the train, the locomotive.
Yeah.
But Baltimore was great. There was a Tech 5 there that was reasonably good, and everything else that was good. There was a More Fun 46.
Yeah,
I showed pictures around. There was some cool rarities out there. What I mean, the scarce ones. I mean, there was a lot of ECs and Harveys like everywhere, but I looked for some really rare ones, some Ace. There was a decent amount of Fox, to be honest with you. There was several copies of the what's that? Super Mystery 18, the one with the guys getting hit in the head with the turkey leg. That's our Thanksgiving episode. Yep. It's a great cover in that one. I'll have to save that for our Thanksgiving episode, or whenever we do that one. But so we'll get into that. But we definitely want to get into what we see coming out there. And if you guys see of any crazy, I mean, I know people are talking about the newest AF-15 cell and stuff like that, and none of that surprises me now. But
was it high?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Is this the 1.8?
The 1.8 broke $30,000.
No.
Considering, where's my 4.0 now?
Mm-hmm.
Might have been a 4.0. I didn't grade my books back then, but
Yeah, I think to be quite honest with you, I'm starting to grow numb to the prices of all of it. I keep thinking, after a while, I just none of it surprises me. But I think that it's not a book necessarily that I collect because I'm kind of a glutton for punishment. I seem to go for the ones that like you can't find. So to me, the AF-15. I mean, I get it. It's an entry level point. People want the book. The demand is always there for the book, and I think, I mean, more than likely, they'll probably look back in 5 or so years and we'll laugh and say, "Gosh, I can't believe they only spent 30 grand on
Yeah.
1.8." Right? So,
I got mine for $5K,
yeah,
I could have.
yeah,
which was a lot back then.
yeah, right,
It was.
exactly,
It would have been.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
could have got 2011 on the boards negotiating a deal. Guy wanted some of the rare golds I had back then. I still do, but some of the rare things I had, and I have an AF-15 that belongs to, it's in the family. We're allowed to talk about it. It's heavily damaged and I had it restored years ago in 2005. So it's a Frankenstein pretty much, but it was the original comic that my uncle had. So we saved it. My cousin. So I've had it
Cool.
in my house for a while, and every once in a while I ship it back home, or I bring it home if he wants
My
it.
dad claims he had it as a kid.
Oh. Well,
When he went to college, Grandma did the thing, and
yeah.
I gave all the comics away.
I had a guy tell me in Baltimore, a well-known comic writer, was sitting next to me, and he told me his biggest regret in comic collecting was getting rid of his Spider-Mans to pay for his writing college. And because of that, he never, even when he was offered the chance to write Spider-Man for Marvel, he turned it down because he said it hurt too much. It wasn't the value; it's the fact that he didn't mind writing other comics here and there. But it was some great.
The worst is for a car.
Oh yeah,
because like 5 years later, that thing is so worthless that it's never worth it. I mean, maybe I guess if it was a classic car and you kept it or something, but
yeah. Nice. If you want to bring up the Comic Link auction, I'll have the Heritage auction.
Well, I got a book I could show, a Golden Age book.
Yeah, we have a book here too. What do we got?
So yeah, I've been after.
I'm gonna put you on the big screen. Give me a second.
Okay. I've been looking for this one for a while. Had these guys. I don't know if I had you searching JD, but I had DS on the lookout for me because it was kind of around for a while. It was one of those books where you like think, yeah, I'll get that whenever. And I don't know what happened, but it just kind of disappeared. And then it appeared here and there, like low grade, very low grade. And it was like, too much. But I was still kind of thinking like, there's tons out there. And then it just disappeared again. And I was like, oh man, I should have got the low grade one for whatever, how much. So then not too long ago, one popped up, but it's my favorite Baker book besides any of the Phantom Lady stuff. So finally got that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Now,
I always thought that was a great figure shot.
I've often said of Baker's, all of his work, whether it be the Phantom Lady, the Jungles, or everything he's ever done, whether it be anything for Fiction House or anything else, the work he did on the romance books, the teenage romance books, or any of the romance books, the artwork is way better. The girls look so much better than they do on Phantom Lady. I just think it's so much better, and it's always the brunette is always got the evil look. There's something.
Yeah.
Are you a Betty guy? Or are you a Veronica guy? Veronica. I'm a Veronica. Yeah. Same here.
No, it's a neat. It's a classic cover. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and it just kind of disappeared for a while. I mean,
yeah, they're harder to find.
Yeah, there is a segment of the community out there that really gobble up all of those romance, teenage, all that. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were one of those. So
Yeah, we
Well, I've had a few bakers in the past, and I usually just sold them because people started, they had want lists, or it was just.
yeah, right.
I mean, I would definitely go for the Phantom Lady 17, even if it's not Baker. I
right.
like that one, but it's insane.
We discussed that in nauseam.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like, this is the best Good Girl art. I mean, obviously, he's the best artist for that kind of stuff ever, and I feel like this was probably my favorite one that he's, that of like realistic non-superhero.
Yeah, like Diary Secrets was one of my
yeah, and a lot of these romance ones, they're not too racy, and I feel like this one's got a good raciness to it.
What's
at the beach,
What's the grade of the? Oh, there, a 3.5.
It's a 3.5. It's not bad. It's got like a kind of a subscription crease or some kind of crease in the middle. That's not too bad though.
I think some guy borrowed it, folded it, put it in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Black
light. Yeah. It's got like a pretty bad spine roll, but whatever.
Yeah, it's cool. Good. Show your.
Should I go into the artwork I got?
Yes. Now this is good because I've seen some of these pieces, and I'll be honest with you. There's a piece in there that I'm a little jelly of.
So there is a reason I have these guys up, and it's not because of the like movie hype or whatever. It's I've always loved
Magnus
Warlock back in the day. Like he's when I was a teenager, he was very like heavy metal kind of style, and like he the Infinity Gauntlet was going. So I was reading Surfer. I started reading Surfer since the new series back in '88 or something.
Yeah, the Engelhart series. Yeah.
Yeah, and then around issue 34-ish or something, Starlin.
34. Starlin came in 34. Yeah.
Yeah.
33 is this weird little green alien dude, and it was really like at its tail end. And then Starlin came in, Perez, Ron Lim just took it from there on. Up until Mars, and then
I started really liking Starlin's writing. So I, researched him. A couple older friends of mine had some. They gave me some old books, and then I got his whole run on Warlock, and I loved it. So I was a big fan way back. Like these are some of the oldest books I own still from my childhood. Like 14 years old or whatever. Like I kept them this whole time. I got these signed by Starlin in New York in like early 90s. He was a nice guy. I remember I didn't know that he couldn't draw because of like a medical issue.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I just wondered. I just knew he didn't draw anymore, and I was like, I remember because that new Warlock series came out, and I was like, man, he's pretty good. I think it was like Angel Medina or something like that. Yeah. But I was like, I mean, can't you? Why don't you get drawn on it? And he was laughing about that, but anyway, it was kind of like very impulsive buy. But I was looking at one of the CAF Dueling Dealer art shows, and this came up, and Anthony was going on about how it was like from Starlin's 70s era because it has the 70s Starlin signature on it.
Right, the 73 to 77 states.
Yeah. So I threw out a number out there that was lower than what he was asking, and I was just kind of expecting him to think it was too low, but he was like, all right, guy from the Golden Guys, yeah, I'll take care of you. So I was like, oh man, okay. but I mean, I got it and I loved it, and it's just a Starlin Warlock from a guy's sketchbook back in the day.
Yeah.
I love that it's still it's Warlock, but that with the Magnus eyes almost. You know?
Yeah, and you could
Right.
I've been kind of looking at a lot of his revisiting these old books, and yeah, the early stuff he did a lot of like dark blacks, especially in the cape behind there and in the arms and stuff. So it really does feel like, I can't know for sure. Maybe if I go to a con and he's there, I'll bring this and ask him. But it definitely looks like a period piece to me. So I'm really happy with that. I can't deny it. I'm super happy I got this. So yeah,
you got a place in the homestead on the wall or next to we got
you know,
get it framed up, and
that would be cool, but I'm just too paranoid to keep art on the walls just from light and all that stuff. So I always have them in like a portfolio. So
yeah, I'm moving some art into my office because my kids are downstairs more. My son wants to, so I kind of made the TV room that was for my wife and I has now been taken over by the toddlers. So I look around, I'm looking at my paintings and stuff, and I'm like, this got to go. I got to lock this in my office. I have a lock on the door, and the kids can't get in there anyway for other reasons. But
yeah, I mean, like some of this, depending on what materials they use, it could be very susceptible to light and could fade. Like probably this looks like some felt, or at least down there. So
one of the best things about that Starlin piece that I like about it is one, it's action. Two, the shadow on the bottom is just typical Jim going the extra mile on sketches. It was always one of those things I always thought that if you do see early sketches of Jim Starlin, I've got a few of his artwork, and I had him do a sketch for me post injury, and it doesn't look anything like that. But he did a Thanos for me way back when in 2009, I think, or 2008, and I have seen that piece before, and it always intrigued me, and I'm glad it went to someone there. I'm not the biggest Warlock. I like Magnus more. I just thought he was a cool
cool.
Like an anti-hero kind of a guy that was, he's not really a good guy by any means, but he was strong enough to kill. Spoiler alert, there's a time when he beats Thanos.
Yeah, I love Warlock. He's like the typical like tormented character, and this like fits his character.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he is.
Like,
yeah.
He's like in the Soul Gem, like damn you, Thanos.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep. Such a great one. So one of my
I hope they do him well in the movies. Jeez.
I do too. I mean, the kid who they hired is the kid from We the Millers or Where the Millers.
Yep, saw that.
And the memes, thank you all for whoever's putting out those memes of the kid of that scene of Where the Millers. You guys are getting paid for this, because it's got like $28 million for this one. But the best part was everybody's like, but if you look at him now versus however long that movie is, I mean, he looks like he could be the part, and looks doesn't really matter if you think about it, because nobody thought James Spader could ever be Ultron, and I think that's an underrated villain. I know they killed him off, but I hope he's back. But James Spader was great. The voice was there. But anyway, great job, great pickup right there. Lewis, why don't you show your
you agree that you think it's a 70s?
Yeah, I would say it's because of he's got Magnus drawn on and stuff like that. That would have been 75, 76, and the signature looks up to about 77 when he was doing it. I think the Avengers would have been in the 120s then. That would have been probably one of the Warlocks. Probably, I'm going to say 13, 14, around then.
Yeah. Would
be that style. If you look at the original Warlock series, that would be then. Not, the Strange Tale stuff was a little later on. 77 is when that begins, the 180 run. But Warlock himself and his own title. Little Pip the Troll, That's one I always liked that Jim created. So the character. So
I always wonder why he like how he even thought of Warlock. Like, because I know he did Captain Marvel.
he'll
And
tell
then-
you the truth. He will tell you it was LSD. No, he will. He'll tell you it was a lot of drugs.
But like, why did
Everything was a lot of drugs.
why did he quit, or did he quit Captain Marvel and then he wanted to go to Warlock? Or
No, they actually flow together. So Captain Marvel, well, he starts at Iron Man, right? Starts Iron Man 54, does 54, 55, and a few other ones. Goes into the world of the cosmic universe.
Yeah.
And when he got into the cosmic, Jim was, this is, I've had this discuss. You have the Captain Marvel run, and the Captain Marvel run that we're talking about is the 20
at 26 to like
26 to 30,
39 or 30.
yeah, 39.
I don't know, something
Well,
like
he goes up a little farther than that because there's a few other cool ones after that. There's a new character in there. But then, if you follow it in sync of how it goes, the first, if you want to read about all that whole run, it's a never-ending story. The Captain Marvel story flows into the Warlock, which flows into a 3-issue Daredevil set, Daredevil and Black Widow.
Oh, really?
105, 106, 107, I think it is. It's the start of Moondragon.
Oh, cool.
It's another character he did. So you've got that.
I loved this
Daredevil.
now back then. And
And
he
he
did like the Master Kung Fu first appearance cover.
Yeah, he did. But him and Al Milgrom came up with that. Of the Shang-Chi. That was all Milgrom and Jim. And they just were just, I mean, you have to say Milgrom, Starlin, Wrightson, Chaykin, Simonson, both of them. Louise Simonson, who at the time was Louise Jones, and Walter Simonson, and Howard Chaykin. These guys all lived either with each other or right by each other.
Wasn't this the time when like Roy just quit or something? Like it was editing was like editing at Marvel was totally.
This was during the paper shortage where a lot of people were leaving it because they were afraid of it.
But like Stan left
Stan wasn't there.
editing, and then I think Roy left editing. So it was
Roy
kind of like
Thomas
all
left.
this wacky shit going on at Marvel.
Well, Roy left being an editor, stayed on being like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He stayed on. Bob Hall did a lot of editing back then. I kind of was a conglomerate of people.
But I heard you could get away with a lot of interesting ideas at that.
Yeah, it was pretty much, spaghetti on the wall, see what sticks. Though that's, if you want to know that era from 73 to 7, that's the era of the creativity. That's where you're, just look at the characters that came out of there that aren't usually characters you would have seen. Howard the Duck, directly from that era. Master of the Kung Fu Shang-Chi. The entire cosmic universe, as
Wolverine, X-Men.
Right.
Is Howard the Duck Steve Gerber, right?
Gerber, yep.
Gerber.
And
You've
Punisher.
got the Punisher, yeah. Jerry Conway doing the Punisher. And that's 73, 74, 75. There's more characters were just thrown at the wall. And there's a lot of ones that
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Ghost Rider himself was there. So that was a great, that's like I call the Bronze Age is the real dawn of what got us into comics later on. They weren't hokey heroes anymore. They were gritty. Or
Moon Knight, right? Wasn't Moon Knight and
was
Blade
another
around
Blade was absolutely there. Dracula getting his own series. Frankenstein getting his own series. Hercules coming full circle, adding Conan into it,
Oh yeah, Conan.
having a Conan character, bringing back characters like that.
Frank Miller just started working there.
Frank Miller was doing Batman at the time.
Yeah.
You've got even in DDC, you had characters like Alec Holland himself. Swamp Thing was invented during that time. You had Power Girl for her double D's and everything were right away, right there. I mean, so it was definitely a cool time. But it was definitely drugs that came up with it, because that's what they say. They say it was just a bunch of guys sitting there with a lot of drugs and come up with different ideas and drawing different characters and coming up with names was fun too. But you had a lot of characters that came up during that time.
When
I
did
would think of it as
when did he hurt it? Like, how did he
I
hurt it?
forget the year it was, but I forget the whole story. George Perez told me the story first, because I asked him. I had them both draw me a Thanos, and Jim drew just a profile of him, which was fine. I mean, it's still Starlin, and then he just did his initials, the JS. That's it. So, anyway, Lewis has a book we got to show before we get into the auction stuff, and it's pretty good because it's a unicorn.
Oh yeah.
Did you get this at Baltimore?
No.
I did not attend Baltimore. I'm hoping
He attended by proxy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He was running around trying to see if I could find some books.
I was negotiating deals for him with people, but
yeah. But here, see if we can. Yeah, so I think people here, if you kind of that are watching, or if you don't know much about me, I'm sort of a big Ace guy. I like the old Ace periodical comics from the time period, the Golden Age. And there's of those runs, there's certain books that are just very, very, very tough to find. Obviously this one being certainly the top of that list, but there's another one there that never really see ever. I saw this thing pop up on eBay. I snagged it right away. It's a very rough copy, and it literally just got into the mail today. So I figured I would show it. Just cool for, I don't know, just don't ever see it. So it's a
look at the rack.
Gotta get this over here. Hold on a second. There we go. So it's a 4 favorites comic, number 6.
Yeah.
So it's certainly a rare. We gotta go the opposite direction here. I was gotta remember, but it's certainly one that you don't really ever see. I can't remember on the census. There might be 3. I can't remember. There's something in that neighborhood, but again, it's not one that you ever see come up. So it was certainly cool to grab. Again, it's got a taped up spine. I honestly haven't taken it out of the, of the deal here. I haven't really gone through the book, but it's just one of those that's been on the list for years. And just lo and behold, I just happened to see it on eBay, and so I just snagged it. So it's kind of cool to grab. So that it's right in my wheelhouse. Might be a lot of people out there thinking, "What the heck? Why that crazy?" But I challenge you to find one.
Yeah,
go find one. So you ever have a book that for whatever the reason, like its lure becomes greater just simply because you can't find it?
Wanted.
Oh yeah.
My passion for Wanted comics, Orbit Publishing. I'm almost done with the set of all 53 of them, and it's harder than you think to do. It's not something I go on eBay to find. Heritage has certainly helped me out in that factor, but a lot of times they don't come up. I find a lot of them in literally those hotel shows we attend and crap like that.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is sometimes I've actually wanted a book so long and that I couldn't find that when I actually could find it, I actually didn't care anymore. And that's kind of sad, but it's like, I think it can go too long sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Yeah, I suppose it's like anything. It's, it's like you're trying to chase I'm probably used the analogy before, but if you're like a dog chasing a car for so long, maybe eventually chances are another car is going to come along and you start chasing it a little bit. And then and then so that one car, but yeah, I certainly have books that, I've kind of hunted down for years. And I think all of us have books on our list that we continue to hunt. So that was just one I always kind of wanted to put my hands on. So I was kind of glad to grab it. So
now you know that it's definitely a keeper when you've chased it that long and you finally get it and you still love it. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe somebody out there's watching is like, hey, I've seen 7 of those things, and I've never seen one. So,
So, so let me just shout out a few guys in the chat here, real quick before we begin the heritage portion, and then Knights will set up a comic link for us so we can go over some Marvel mystery comics coming up in that auction.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, you got to bring up that Clank, and you got to want to see a reaction to it. First off, I want to
there's a few of them that I need.
shout out my good friend Lee. I got a chance to see him, like I said, in Baltimore. He had a great booth going. He had some great books in there, some chat justice. He was literally right, like an aisle away from Gene, and he saw me walk by. I saw him, and I got to stop by and say hello. And then I told him about some weird books. I saw a guy with the Lawbreakers Always Lose #1, and which is a tough book to find. And I went to him and I said, I'm interested in that, and for the price and everything else like that. And I says, I'll be back later on. I can't really do it right now because I'm going from here. I have to go to a cocktail hour before I go up to the hotel. I don't want to walk around with that. And he's like, yeah. And he had a price on it. And he's like, and he asked me, he recognized me from the show, and he goes, well, I didn't know you collected this stuff. I'm like, I love the crimes and everything else, but that also happens to be Gene Colan's first work. I came back and the price was triple as soon as I came back.
I was going to ask this,
but we did make a deal, and I'll get that too. So.
With Mr. Polanski. I was going to say, on Instagram, I need to get in. I need to get on his like little short list. I just see him like post a book. That's a cool book, sold.
Yeah,
I never. Actually,
he had some sweet books there.
I need to get on. I need to get on this list to say like before they're sold. I always just see them come up and they say sold, and I'm like, oh man, So, anyways, if he's watching,
on the Discord. Are you on the Discord channel?
I gotta get on that.
I don't think so. I'm not.
Because it might be a different one, but I feel like sometimes you'll get a heads up there.
So what it is? Okay, yeah. So I just need to like ping him on Instagram or something to say like, hey, But he does often have some pretty neat books.
Nice. Here's my good buddy Jimbo Comics. Jimbo Comics. I love
Jimbo.
Always one of our favorites right there. Chris Barrett. Obviously, we can't have a show without Chris Barrett. He's still around. It's great. Mr. Ben Compton himself. Great having you here. Chat. Let me know you're here.
I've noticed.
Very cool. Very cool.
Heard, ETA Nick.
Oh, I love ETA Nick.
I haven't been going to too many of his chats lately, just because he's been very salty in the past year, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood. But
he likes us.
But he kept going on about all these new channels, and for whatever reason, they just weren't coming up on my like YouTube feed. But finally now I'm seeing like tons of all these investment comic stuff.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm just like, whoa, like I was amazed. But I was watching one just to see what it was like, and they were talking about how the prices of some stuff has been going down pretty hard. But it's all the stuff that I'm not surprised about, like kind of wannabe keys, like just real secondary villain stuff or whatever.
Yeah, first appearance of air conditioning in a Spider-Man book. That kind of crap. I mean, I'm serious because right now I've talked to some people, and especially at the con, it was a great show for me because I talked to a lot of the old dealers. But the dealers and I were laughing when people were coming by about stuff that they heard about in the LA premiere of Eternals that they wanted to get. So they're like, what's the first appearance of Arrow? So I'm like, it's first appearance of Thanos, man. It's Iron Man 55. And he's like, well, he's going to be he's in a scene or whatever going on. And then another person says something about some other character. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And one of the things we talked about privately, and I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but all those Internals investments, unless you have the early Strange Tales, which is cool because it's like early, and it's just a cool book to begin with because it's Silver Age. But all the, modern Kirby ones and stuff like that, they had their run. And it's kind of funny thing is the one book I thought that shouldn't go down that did was that Fantastic Four 45. because the show is bad. People, you know, the Inhumans. But now that my theory still stands: buy on the rumor, sell on the trailer. Don't wait for it to come out because you never know. But
I felt bad though, because like, I mean, it's almost like they just didn't. And I feel like people like us have been trying to preach, but you know how it is when you're younger,
not.
you don't want to hear about it. But like, it's what I'm seeing though is like all those books that are going down are the ones that there's like 30 copies of at any moment.
Yeah.
If there was only 3, it wouldn't be doing that, you know.
Right.
So you got to be careful about buying stuff that's just too plentiful and thinking because
I had a guy recently show me a 9.6 ASM 300 he got that was restored. And he goes, "You think I could get $1,000 for this?" I said, "I wouldn't give you $100 for it, but I know somebody out there would probably give you about $200 to $400 for it if you do it quick."
Yes, every time I look unless I see those ASM 300s, I keep thinking,
28,000 graded on CGC alone.
well, I mean, I'm just joking, but I keep thinking like, holy crap, are we still printing these? You know,
Yeah.
because it's like, you know, it's like it just seems like,
Did that take over? I used to see Spawn 1 the most.
yeah.
That's taken over for sure. And
but you know, at least those are legit though, like first appearances.
And
like,
it's a legit book. It's a Spider-Man
sure.
title, you know.
Oh, yeah.
but you know, when people are paring down their stuff, they're keeping just their favorite best things. You know, you can't be thinking of comics all the time, so there's only so many you might want to keep. You're not going to be keeping like I don't know, Abomination first appearance or whatever the hell, like just these weird.
Yeah.
Sure.
But there are books that are first appearances that I don't think have had their run yet, i.e. Man-Thing. I still think that's an underrated book because it's very hard to find in good condition. It's a rare book to begin with. It's a beautiful cover. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. It's a Bronze Age beauty of mine. It's a Marvel Tales. It's a painted cover. It's a Buscema painted cover, the one. And it is ridiculously great book. But Man-Thing, Swamp Thing around the same time, Heap was first. Remember that. The Golden Age was first, Heap was first.
Airboy Comics.
Airboy Comics, Heap.
Yeah.
So
what about New Mutants 98? Has that gone down in price?
I don't know.
It seemed like for a while I think it has continually to creep up.
I want one,
yeah.
but I want to pay $100.
Yeah,
Exactly. You're like me.
Yeah.
When it was $10, I was like, I had it. I'm like, I was selling them for $40. I'm like, this is a joke. There's so many of these.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's not like what I think. Like, I don't know. I'm not like being like
That's not even a
weird about it. Just like I feel like $100. I mean, that seems worth it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's a good price for someone, but also like I could see as a major character, $100.
Yeah.
But it's probably like 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seem like.
And you're like me. You want to buy Raw too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a long talk with some guys in Baltimore.
I mean, I would buy a CGC like 6.0,
Yeah.
but there are none. I mean, they
right,
don't.
because everybody cracks them open, grades them, and slabs them, and presses them down so much, crushes the books, irons the books. One of my books that I told the guy, says, I like the fact that you don't have it graded. And then he's like, well, I'm not selling it yet. When I get it back from CGC, I'll buy. I'm like, I don't really need it graded. I really need to look at the interior because it has the first work of somebody in there that I want to look at.
You can't,
and I don't want to buy it to pay the price to crack it open.
But you also can't blame them for one.
I don't blame anybody for doing that. I think it's important to slab books. I mean, how do I convince a guy now who's got one of the best collections I've ever seen, who has maybe 1 or 2 slab books, to slab all his books? I mean, I'm talking, he's got Fantastic 3. He's got Adventure 34. He might even have, actually he says he doesn't have an Art Flag 5. But he has all the major titles. He had a Tech 27. He's had it all of them. 2 slab books in his whole copy, and he got them last year.
because someone's selling books probably hears that and they go, okay, well, then the buyer is almost like, oh, I want it, not slabbed, but I don't want to pay slab. I want to pay a raw price for it,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, well, I pay, but whatever. I'm just saying
It's tough.
but
Let's bring up. And to answer your question, Chris Barrett, yes, on Hustlemania on Tony Sanders' channel, I will make my return as the Golden Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! Maybe the oldest guy, but I got the longest line. Okay, so this is what we have here right now. I want to show you guys this. I'm going to bring it up on this way so we can see it a little better. Is this better to do it like this?
Looks good.
Okay, so now I need to go to that page. Where is it? So I can move it up and down. Here it is. Okay.
Nice looking Spidey one.
Yeah, well, I will mention two Silver Ages I don't see often. So the first thing we're going to bring up, the first book I'm going to bring up here is, of course, an Action One. This is a...
Wow. Looks nice.
Yep. Yeah, let's bring that up for everybody here.
Light, too. That's cool.
Yeah, it's something where you don't see. This is, I want to make sure everybody sees this. Let me zoom in here.
Look at that. Color's awesome. Damn.
Yep. So if
that's high grade for that.
Light Modified 2. So forget the brittle pages. It's an Action One.
Slightly brittle.
A small amount of color touch on cover, pieces added to cover, which you can see where they are. Interior tear seals to cover. The interior spine split seal doesn't bother me. The interior reinforced and cover cleaned. Cover clean doesn't mean a dry clean. It means it was a rice paper clean. You can see where the pieces are added.
or maybe my eyes.
You can see them.
Where's the piece at?
If I can, you'll see here the off color. Can you see it?
Nope.
Where the red meets there. You can see it on this screen here. See all that?
Up in the top corner.
Yeah, top
Mm.
here. But
Yeah, okay, all right.
over here. But this is something where this is going to go for a lot, and I think whoever buys it is probably going to get it for less than what it probably could be.
I wouldn't buy it. You know why? Because I don't like reinforced. That's amateur, because that paper they use can get
is it
super
amateur?
brittle, and you can't even turn the pages.
I thought it was professional. A is professional.
Is it?
Yeah, it's level A.
Okay.
Yeah, C restoration is amateur. A is
Okay.
professional.
That's
This, if
confusing.
I'm not mistaken, I think this is a Mike Tachillis project that he did. So I would trust that.
Well, then, yeah.
Yeah, I do trust
And I'm
this.
sure
with
that's
all the
fine.
restoreds. This was really impressive to me.
It looks great. I mean,
So
you can't
I'm
get
going
a
to
better
throw a
looking
number out there while we've got a week left on this one. I'm going to say it'll hit 300. 10% of what a $3 million book, I think right now is 6.5, and that will get 3 million. So I'm going to say 300,000.
310.
You take that. $1.
I've seen that show a lot growing up.
I might go. I don't know. I might actually put 350 on it.
Okay, that's good.
Ooh.
That's good. Next book I want to show.
Oh, damn. Look at that.
This something is A5, which means pretty extensive. And
So the higher the number, the more, what does it mean? Just more done?
it's a lot more done. It's the
Mm.
highest level of stuff done. It's Frankenbook, but it's not really, because it looks like it's complete from what I gathered here, which is rare. Cleaned interior, lightened, spine split sealed, white pages. Let's highlight that right there. It is a Tech 27. It is a 7.0. A lot of restoration on it, but well, I don't think it's going to hit the 300,000 mark. I think we're going to hit 200,000 on that one.
You know, I know because one thing that I really always
Between the
hated
two is
about these
$500,000.
online sales, the online sales that I hated was like, because if this was at a dealer's and you were at a con, you were like, well, which pieces are at it, or he'll show you. And I remember I talked to, I think it was Vincent or someone at Comic Connect, but they were pretty cool, and they like had the book, and they were like talking to me about it, because I was kind of like, I don't know, like I can't see this and that, like can you tell, so if you were interested in something like this, well, I don't know about Comic Link, if you could call them, but it would be nice to know a little bit more about I mean, ideally CGC would
Yeah, you have to get the
show your
notes and-
pictures or something or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something out there as far as notes wise that would explain specifically, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
because
I'm
even
with
the
you.
notes can be vague,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. They're very cryptic short notes on those things. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I think certainly when you're starting to hit these type of price points when you're purchasing it, I think it'd be worthwhile to kind of understand. Okay, well, what specifically, where was it done? Because I'll have to admit if I have I have lots of weaknesses, but man, sometimes these restorations or whatever it is, even like some of them I can spot. Some of them, man, I really don't. I really can't see very easily. I really,
Those are the good ones.
yeah, some of them are done so well that, I mean, I honestly, I can't see it, and it'd be good to know kind of what it is.
So here is the Cap 1 of the Promise Collection in a 3.5, already up to 87.5, which is. Did you hear me on that one?
Yeah.
87.5 for a Cap 1 and a 3.5. That's high. But I think it still has some room to go because of the Promise Collection pedigree on there.
I mean, in a world where AF 15
Whatever.
4 is like what 50,000 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, this has to be higher than that. Come on.
Yep. Considering that I'm saying $500,000 between the two DC first appearances, and this being the first Marvel one that we're doing, I put it up there with Marvel 1 and 1A.
Looks nice.
It does look very nice. And it's pure to a certain extent.
Can you make it a little bigger?
I certainly can.
Look at that.
So here's a question out of curiosity. So this
The colors look really good.
The colors look extremely good.
What's a recent sale like on just even if I'm on Heritage, like do we know what a recent similar sale would have been?
I can tell you in a moment.
It does look kind of like Rusty Staples maybe there though.
Well, yeah, and which won't turn me off if it's sealed like this. It's when it's raw that it drives me nuts. Let me look here real quick.
That will make some people not even bid.
I know.
Rusty
There are
Staples.
people that will.
Which, hey, is good if you want to go after it.
Okay, so
I guess just the fear of them popping, or
yes, yeah, you want to.
Well, the worst part of Rusty Staples to me is when it starts getting into the paper.
That's true. It kind of starts.
And then if you really let it go, it can go into the paper. And this is not like you're letting it go in the bank vault. This is like you're letting it go in an environment that is still not controlled. Like it's still getting moisture. It's still getting hot and cold and all this crap. Like if a collector has this, it's not going to do anything. But at least not till you're dead. But
the last 4.0 of this, which I think was.
But the paper that gets the rust can then start to just disintegrate, which sucks.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the last 4.0 Universal of this sold for 180,000.
Ooh.
Yep. I don't have a recent 3.5 other than July of last year.
That was for
That's
a
sold
4.
for 90. Yeah, that's sold for 90, but that was a little lower because remember we talked about this. That auction had like 3 Cap 1s in it. Yeah, that was the low end of that one. I says whoever paid the 90 got a good deal because it was. I had 100,000 on that book, no matter what, on a 3.5. This being the Promise Collection and my standard 25% for a decent pedigree 20% for a pedigree, 25% for a higher grade one. And then for this collection, because it's, right now I would say it's the third most popular of the Golden Age by itself. No, file copies don't count for me because that's not a pedigree. I'm saying you got your Mile High, your San Francisco, and probably then your Promise. I mean, yes, there's a few other ones in Northland, a few other ones, but right now Promise Collection's popularity at least is in the top 3, if not top 2. I probably hold San Francisco higher than anybody else, but I just love that collection. I'm gonna conservatively say we're gonna hit a new high in this for this grade for sure, and I'm gonna go to the 125, 130,000 level for this. Sounds reasonable.
All right, Lewis, you go.
4.0 is 180.
Well, right, and that was high because I've seen.
I don't know. I'm gonna go a little crazy. I'm gonna say this book gets like 165.
160. That's not too crazy. I mean, I'm only lowballing it because I've seen there's a lot in this grade and below.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Promise Collection one that people are going to jump up on? I hope so.
I've always found that Captain America ones, to be honest with you, that I was gonna say they seem like they're kind of like they sort of bounce up and down. Like all of a sudden you'll see one go for, I don't know, you'll see the same grade sell within a pretty significant width of the band of of dollars. So I don't know. I tend to think right now, just where the market is, I think there's a substantial amount of interest in these books.
Wait. Go back.
Oh, you want to see that one? Sorry.
Yeah, go back. Because I was gonna say, I mean, I usually don't care about this kind of stuff, but the yellow in the cover with that gold label looks freaking amazing.
It does, and
I don't know. It just really looks awesome.
Yeah.
It just must be the yellow.
I was going to say this. There are certain times, like if you've ever seen what a purple label or a green label does to a House of Secrets 92, makes it look so cool.
Yeah.
You don't want it, but it looks real cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looks better than the blue.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'll go 175.
That's good. That's a good number. I probably low on it just because I've seen this go like this so often.
I wouldn't be surprised if it hit 200 for some.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I'm lowballing on that one. This one I'm not going to lowball on. I expect this to have even more popularity now than the cat. And the reason this one is interesting to me is not only is it a beautiful, it's a nicer, very nice presenting.
Yeah.
Has that mark on it, which all the Promise Collection has. Very noticeable. So it's got its Promise.
Bob Kane's full signature, or is that was on?
It's cover detached.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a 2.0 with cover detached. I want to show the back cover for me.
Very nice. It's got these centered nicely. You see the buildings on both sides, and they're like straight up and down. It's nice.
You don't usually see that part, but if you look at the back centering, it's perfectly right there. Needs a bath. But
what is that? Is that a stain on the corner, or is
it looks like a stain down here?
Okay.
A tear out down here.
A tear out.
Because it's detached. Okay, cover's detached. That looks to me like oil mold. Oil.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the book with the value that says that they didn't try to scrub it, clean it a little bit.
I don't know if that unless they did.
Yeah, unless they
could be foxing.
Yeah, it's
foxing.
It looks like foxing.
That's foxing over here all the way on the edges, but there shouldn't be foxing on this book, so to speak. Makes me nervous, but I'm gonna.
A little weird.
It is a little weird to see this on this book. So I want to point out a few things about that book that why I think this book is a good buy and nervous. One thing is I don't see a lot of Batman ones, or I haven't seen a lot of Batman ones with that staining / foxing, whatever you want to call it, on the back. It's not really common for that era. But what is common is off centering, and Knights kind of stole my thunder. You usually don't see this piece down here in perfect.
Very nice.
You don't usually see this. Usually it's slightly, if I were to do it, you would see about that much of it usually. And it's centered perfectly right there. The other thing I like about this book that I think it was intriguing about it was look at how I know it covers detached, so it comes into play. Look at how it just presents overall the how do I want to put this within the right way? It's brighter reds than I've ever seen on a Batman one. How about that?
Yeah, that is great reds.
That is the brightest red I've ever seen on a Batman one. And I've seen the 9.4. I've seen, I was at Vince's booth, and I saw the 9.2 Marvel one, and I saw a beautiful 8.5 copy of this, and
yeah,
reds did not look like that.
There's definitely, all the foxing aside, this book is right up there with the rest of the Promise collection. In fact, in the sense that the colors are such that they were in a bound volume, or they're just completely sealed for 80 years or whatever.
Throwing this out there as a conservative price of $150,000.
I think that's 200.
Okay. It's a 2.0 of a Batman one.
Yeah.
But somebody's going to be happy with that book if they can get that fixed.
Yeah, I'm kind of with. Yeah, so I think it's approximately 200.
Okay.
Give or take.
Nice. Here.
That's a good red too.
This is a beautiful red, and this is my favorite of all the Joker covers up there, the Genie in the Lamp one. Batman 49. I'm going to show you that grade one more time.
Jesus.
Yeah. For you trying to get the highest grade on the copy on the census, let me read to you what this says, just so we can make sure that I'm as accurate as I was, because I'm pretty sure. Well, we'll get to this one. That's my next one I wanted to show. But yeah, well, I can't do the original art on this show because I would waste up everybody's time on that. There's so much good original art in this one. There's some Frank Bruner Doctor Stranges. There's Barry Windsor-Smith Conan's. It's ridiculous. They're doing this to me now because
bring your checkbook.
Bring your checkbook, exactly.
It's like all these people were marveling in the market that was about, I don't know, at least 6 months ago, maybe longer. And now the shit is like, it takes a while to go through all these. You send it there, you talk to them, you negotiate, and all this. Okay. So they want the bit money, Bitcoin.
Yeah, they do. This book, this 9.6 lovely copy here of the Batman 49, the Arabian Nights, whatever you want to call it here, the Joker. It is. It's tied for the highest grade, so it's not the single highest grade, but people are going to want this one.
Yeah, there's 2 9.6s.
Right, it's already at its all high. I think it still has some room to grow because of the pedigree, and I'm adding 25%. I'm actually adding 50% to the last sale combined with where it was.
What year is that?
1949. This was 44, maybe, I think. 48.
Okay, 48. So that's a legit promise. That's a legit promise collection.
Yep, absolutely.
Because he bought a lot
up to 50
himself, but then he like direct. But then he also collected stuff that was older, but it was already like used, and that's like the Cap One and that stuff. So this, you could tell, is something he bought and just, I don't know. I guess he just put it in the box.
Of all the, this.
I don't think he even read this stuff. Do you think he even read them? I don't.
I don't honestly. I put thumbprints on my books for some reason. This. I'm throwing out 65,000, which would be an all-time high, obviously, for this by double. I just don't see it. I don't see this book ever in a high grade like this. It's beautiful. I like the book. This is one of my favorites of the bunch. No, skip that one. There was the captain, and then they want to go to the all-star. Yeah. Knights.
Yeah, let's look at that cap.
This is cap 37 too.
Ooh, let's take a look at this.
This is one of my favorite
Wrap
covers.
on this can be an
This
issue
is
sometimes.
a shaky one. Now, it's a Shambi.
Ooh, looking
I
good.
want to looking good so far. I want you to see the grade. I see a little mark there in that upper left corner. Makes me
Yeah.
a little unhappy about that, and I see a little bit here on the legs and stuff like that. However, it's bombs away. Which
Wait,
is
go down to that bottom corner again.
the top corner. You mean
the spine corner on the bottom?
spine corner on the bottom? That's the other part I
It's a
want to
little
talk
blown out there.
about. A little blown out. Now, if you don't know, this
Now
is
I know damn well if I sent that in, I wouldn't be getting a 9.
This is my 7.5 waiting to happen. But this
The colors.
cover, this is known as the bombs away.
And you want to talk about some dark red. Look at the windows above the American flag right there. I mean, that is as dark a red as you'll ever see on any comic. That's amazing.
One of Schomburg's. This is one of my favorite of all the Cap Schomburgs.
That's crazy.
This is one of my favorite ones because the title of this work was Bombs Away. And Alan Bellman drew this forever and apparently came up with this for Schomburg. He often said that this was him, the Cap dropping the bomb. Everything else was Schomburg except for that. And Alan went, we did our tribute show to Alan when he passed. And I will tell you this. I remember him saying, bombs away, bombs away. That was mine. I drew it first and then Alex took it over right there. But this is a great cover. I mean,
look at that. Even the shell has a little
paying.
swastika on the bottom.
Again, I'm not sure. Well, I think I can find that out. I think it'll tell me.
Do you have that book, Knights, in your collection?
I do. I have one.
He's got bombs away. Yeah.
Okay.
I had this originally pegged for 50,000. I might be lowballing it at this point. Maybe, I don't know. 50,000 sounds good. There's one higher, and we know that's the church. I love this book. It's
it's hard for me to price this stuff because I'm just not ever in that market. I mean, I could see 75, but yeah,
I'm going to stick to my gun and say 50. And I expect it to go higher. It's a beautiful book. It's of the wartime caps, which I mean with the Schomburg caps and everything else. This is Would you have to agree that this is one of the top 3 covers?
No, I couldn't give it that, but I'd say it's in the top.
Popularity, not your likes. Popularity
Of Cap.
The cap.
Cap Schomburg's.
Cap Schomburg, but Cap in general.
Cap in general.
Wartime Captain America. How many can you know? Like Bombs Away's one, this one, and obviously was it 21 or 20?
Well, you got number 1, you got number 2 and 3.
Well, I'm saying cover-wise, recognizable right off the bat. That image of Bombs Away. So I do also like how he messes around and goes through the title here.
I mean, you get the Holocaust one, which is above this for sure.
They're up there. I mean, it's definitely one of. Let's call it that.
It's in the top 7 or 10 at least Cap books ever.
Do we want to do another All-Star 8?
Nah.
Yeah, I'm sick of that book. I'm not a big fan.
Hey, did all the Black Cat collections sell?
No, we got one to bring up right now. The most popular of the Black Cats.
But did that auction finish?
No.
The one that we were looking at? Oh God.
No,
Wow.
this is one here.
Did they ever change the stickers?
I don't know for sure. I'm sure we'll get comments on that show again. So this is the White Heat, the most popular of all the Black Cat mysteries.
Yep.
It's been well documented. We know this book. We know it's a Harvey. So it's the rarity factor isn't there. The rarity in this grade is.
Yep.
It's not going to go for 23. Don't even think about it. I'm saying this. Does it see? I'm not comparing it to the cap. I'm comparing the popularity of this title. This is the most popular Harvey book, probably outside of.
There is a 9.8.
There is a 9.8 out there.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, I had put like a number about 65.
65.
65 is kind of what my number was, but
He could be. I mean, that's what it is. I'm going 50. He's going 65. We need DS on that one. Knights, if you want to get that Clink auction, I want to see those Marvel Mysteries.
50, I'd say 50.
50. I want to show this because if anybody's asking for me, I take a size Bernie Wrightson for Christmas.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is that from Frankenstein book?
Yes, it is. It's not from Frankenstein Alive. It's the real one.
Man.
I just want to. It won't let me.
I saw some of those pages at the Words and Pictures Museum when Eastman had that open, and they were unbelievable.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'm glad I have quite a few cool things from that. Okay, here we go. This is an entire bound volume, Detective 1 through 26. I'm about to show.
Wow.
So what you have in here is two bound because they're two. Just to let you know what it looks like. There were two bound volumes, 1 through 13 in there. Look at some of the cool covers you're going to get right there.
So yeah, 1. That's 2. Yep. 3, yep.
Okay. Shows how it's bound. Bound books are getting their love again. I know people love to have their slabs on the wall and everything else like this, but if you show up with a Detective 1 through 26, I'm going to go through that. Nice. There will be collectors fighting for this.
Does it show any of the interior pages?
Well, you just saw a few of them.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, for me,
I think they do
depends on how much they trim it. Because sometimes they don't trim it much.
They do a lot. I mean, you have to. That's what I want to get into. Because it's bound, they are detached and trimmed. And there's glue all over it.
Oh yeah.
It's glue all over. I've got bound books. There's glue all over it.
That's easily removed.
I think is a little low for this, but I'm going to put a cap on this thing at 40.
Yeah, I think that's kind of mine. Yeah, I would say 45.
Yeah,
that would be my.
I love bound books.
That'd be good. I mean, that particular bound volume. I mean, who knows? It's not. You see certain series that are bound sometimes. I can't recall that particular run, that early run, having a bound come up for market. So who knows?
Nice.
But I kind of
depends on how trimmed it is. Because if someone could
undo the bound, take it out. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Which they probably would have by now if they could have.
Yeah. And then you just got to look at things that make you go, we're going to pass by that Ultimate Fallout. Okay. Another Black Hat collection here we're going to show. The second most Harvey of all time.
Hell yeah.
First, I don't know. It's got to be number 2.
Yeah,
it's 1 and 1A.
I would say that Chambers of Chills 19, like this is, if you're not in the hobby, this is still probably the most widely recognized comic, obviously.
A lot of Misfit fans? Or?
Yeah, I just think, you see this on t-shirts, if your bands, this is probably, you take your non-comic fans and there's a chance that they probably have seen.
I saw Halloween masks with this.
Yeah.
This is the so for Good Girl Art, as a outsider looking in, I love my Phantom Lady 17, and as an outsider looking in on PCH, I love this book.
Nice.
So that says something, and it's going to go for a lot of money, and I'd love to have this way more than that other Black Cat one.
Right. So this is what we're going to go. We're going to put them up against each other. Which goes higher?
Oh,
Okay.
I hope
Chamber
this-
Tales 19, Black Cat Mystery 50.
Mm-hmm.
Two most popular Harvey PCH books, both in the same grade, from the same collection. I think this should go higher. I think this is going to be higher. Not because of, it's because of everything that Knight said, as well as what Lewis said here. But the other thing I'm going to put about it is I think you'd rather have this in the higher grade than have the Black Cat 50.
Yeah.
I think this one it's more desirable and presents better. I mean, the one's just ugly.
Why the hell didn't he keep this? That's what I'm saying.
Why not?
Of all the ones that keep,
Yeah. Because we don't know if he has another one.
yeah, he probably does.
Yeah, he does. He probably does. Let me look here.
First, remember, is this the highest grade, or is there a 9.8?
I believe there is a few 9.8s. Let me look here. See, this I think is going to go higher than the other one. This, none higher. This is the highest grading,
Wow.
which is why also it'll go higher. Somebody's going to want to have this. I'm not kidding. Somebody's going to want to have this. Look at the back.
What's the highest sale of this on Heritage?
It's got to be recent, right? Well, not in that grade.
I just don't know.
I mean, 2005, this book sold for $1,000. So I'll
my
say
God.
it'll beat that.
That's insane.
It'll beat that. Yeah. If you guys want to know, but that's what it was back then, and we were laughing, saying, "Who's going to pay $1,000 for that book?" We were laughing. Stupid. So stupid.
Yeah,
I remember asking DS around when I first started chatting with him. I was like, if you find me one for I don't know, I guess maybe just keep it under $300. He never found it, but I was just so used to that book not being that crazy.
There's so much cool Jack Kirby, Marie Severin art in this one. Okay, we've got another one here. We have a Bethlehem Pedigree and a Black Cat Comics.
$15 for that book already, huh?
Yeah, that's high right off the bat, but it is the Bethlehem Pedigree, which is a good one of the upper echelon pedigrees that are out there. This is the single highest graded on the census of we call it the Ant-Man book, whatever you want to call it, the Ant Torture book. Again,
nice copy.
this is half of where it's going to go, I think. I think 30 is a little high, but because it's not as popular, but because it's a Mr. Mystery, I don't know. This is tough. I'm going to conservatively say 25.
Yeah, I mean, it's already at 18 if you consider the BP. So
I guess
they're going to go 25 for sure.
Yeah. It'll be a great sale. And congratulations to whoever owns it, to be honest with you. I love that one. Get to that Green Lantern here.
He's
Okay.
going to buy one hell of a house in Illinois or whatever he was saying.
Right. We've seen the Action 1. We've seen the Tech 27. Now we got All American 16.
Nice.
This is the first appearance of Green Lantern, of Alan Scott, I should say. For all you
really good looking
Jordan fans. Again, extensive restoration. I'm going to zoom in on that so you see it. The extensive restoration includes color touch pieces added, tear seals, blah, blah, blah. A lot in there. The other ones where we said we're going to go for six figures and high figures at that. We said $500,000. I personally said $500,000 between the two of them. A lot of guys said it could be even 600 to 700,000 between the two of them. This, I think, is going to do 10% of that. Even there. It won't go for, where's it at now? I don't think this hits 30,000. It's at 15 now. I don't think it hits 30. And it should. Maybe not, because I think it's, if you find a blue label of this one, it's through the roof. But finding any of these is just almost as hard as, I wouldn't say just as,
Well,
it's pretty hard to find.
yeah, the All-American 16, I've probably heard me say this, but I'm pretty sure that of those key superhero comics in the Golden Age, it is probably the rarest
Right.
of them all. Now, yeah, there's certainly fewer of those than probably any of the others of your big, of your superhero keys, and from Golden Age time frames. I can't remember the census numbers, but
Well, we can't show White Heat without showing its little redheaded stepchild brother. Also from Harvey, The Tomb of Terror 15. These are all kind of bookends, would you call it, of the Harvey.
Mhm.
There's more of these than there are of the other. One thing about this is this is the single highest graded as well. If you're going to spend whatever 65, we said, I think our high was 65 to 70 on the other one.
on the 50, Black
On the
50.
50. This, you got to conservatively say it's got to go for 35. I mean, this is, again, single highest graded. The classic cover.
Yeah.
I think it's just hideous, but
Yeah, I've always.
you love this book. You always talk to me about it.
Yeah, I like the pre-code horror stuff. So I mean, to me, I like
One of the first times he came over to me to talk comic books, he said, "I really like that White Heat and the Tomb of Terror." I'm like, "Yeah, you like the creepy stuff."
Yeah. So yeah,
That's when I knew he was a creep.
yeah, I could see that. Being around the, I don't know, I'll say 30.
Here's one that's gained a lot of steam recently for the crossover references. Not one of my favorites, but not terrible in any way. Hopefully one of our good guys here goes out and gets himself one.
Is that an 8.0?
That is an 8.0.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wildly stupid. I would think that an 8.0 on that book would be, I don't know, 75 or something. But maybe I'm crazy.
No, I mean, it has a potential. I personally think this is going to go for about the 45 to 55 range. There are higher.
Yeah,
There are higher, but
maybe
it doesn't come. It used to not trade as much as it has over the last couple of years.
Where does an 8.0 stand as far as it's probably not the highest, but
No.
it's got to be top.
Let's see if I can get the census up on it. Weird Tale 74, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they call it Captain America's Weird Tales, or?
It's just Captain America.
I personally have the Weird War Tale 74, which is the elephant cover, which I love. Is it considered Captain America 74?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those last few issues of Captain America
It
were
was bizarre.
kind of more of a horror. Good.
Okay. So there's definitely a 9.2 out there. Let's check the census. 16 universal copies. On the census, there's 192. It doesn't say there's an 8.0, but I don't like that when I see that. Let's look at the census here. On the census, there's a 9.2, 180. That's the second highest graded, single second highest graded. CGC, I should say, CGC. I have seen a CBCS grade, but I think the highest one I saw on the one, I think that was a 6 or something. Second highest graded. You might be right on this one, Lewis. You might think this thing might just get enough legs at the end. Captain America 27.
Oh, that's
Yep.
a good one.
It is a good one. This is a 9.2. It's the motorcycle cover that we talked about. I forget what day when we did something on this whole issue. Oh, we like the fact that the torch was in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good book.
Yep.
It's another classic cover,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a true Promise collection.
Yes, it is. True
See, they
Promise.
saved the best ones for last.
They did. I agree with you. I think this is one of my favorites. This is the other one I mentioned when I said Captain America. Well, I think it's 27. This is a cool motorcycle cover here, and Bucky's just shooting away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one. He's not tied up in any way or getting tortured or racked or anything or dipped in anything.
And you got the team up with the Russians.
Yep.
Yep.
The Soviets behind you and
Yep.
Human Torch in there. Again, this could. I mean, are we hitting 35 on this one? And a 9.0? Or do we
hope
like
so.
to look more than most?
I hope so. Jesus.
Okay. Because some of these prices are low to me. Here's a. Everyone. Yeah, I guess we should do it.
So, Lewis, I just wanted to, because, I hear that all the time about how, oh, there's only like 5 of these Green Lantern #1s. And, there's only 63 Marvel 1s, but there's 60 of the All-American. So it's not that low.
The all American 16s. How many are on this one?
60.
60.
60.
And Marvel 1 is 63.
Hmm.
How many of that is that how many are blue labeled?
I didn't check that.
It is very possible that over the last so many years, that people are like, oh crap, starting to get more out there, slab more of them. So now, but it just always seemed like that particular book, you didn't see nearly as much.
This ties for highest grade. Again, I'm going to stick to that 40,000, 50,000 range. It could go higher. It is a part of the Black Cat collection, which is great. It's a tough one. There was another one I want to bring up. There it is. So we've rounded out. We've got the 3 superheroes we brought up, but the one book I think that is on here.
Wait a minute. Before you do that, I just want to say the Marvel Mystery 9, the first team up.
My favorite
battle.
Yeah.
Only 53.
Right.
So that's my
favorite.
And I'd say that's
Marvel
more
book.
popular at this point than that old Green Lantern.
I think that's us, though.
I don't know.
Because we
the
talk
hell's
that book up everywhere.
I don't hear anyone talking about Green Lantern.
Okay, here we've got some amateur problems. But it's cover reinforced, tape on cover interior, and cover interior. If you want a bargain on one of the best books you can find,
Bargain.
look at it.
Good luck finding a bargain on this book.
2.5 purple label. Today's market. Where do we think we're going with this?
It probably beats most of those books you just showed.
I think it will. I personally think this should go higher than a lot of those books I showed because of what it is just tape. There is no color touch.
Yeah, tell me about the restoration
I'll
again.
go over this again. It's amateur,
Okay.
which people who just look at that number over on the upper left, but look at everything else. What it is? Cover reinforced, tape on cover interior. All that is tape to stop it from falling apart. Okay. It presents way better than a 2.5. Get rid of the. If I just go from here down. All right.
Except for that corner,
Look
which
at it.
unfortunately takes the text. a
You
little
will never see a 2.5 look that good.
It's a great book.
It is a phenomenal book.
How much is it already? 20?
No,
Like 10 or something.
10.
Yeah.
I think this should go for 60 minimum. 12,000.
I think it'll at least get 30.
Yeah, I think that's a great book. I think that's a steal for whoever gets it below.
Wow, that weird looks nice from here.
Yeah, this is a 9.4. It's another one of our good buddies. This is a Spokane pedigree.
Damn, look at that.
Rare pedigree to find.
That looks nice.
This is really nice. Look at the date stamp right there.
All those different colors on there. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And what I like about this is, I love they put the black hat stickers up there. It's a 9.4 white pages. This kind of isn't the most common book you can find.
Looks really
Let's see.
good and high grade. I'll tell you that.
It looks real good. Let me look at a quick little census tear on this.
Yeah.
I think this is. I mean, I don't have. None higher. There are 2 and a 9.4, so it's tied for highest grade, right? Is it a 9.4? Yep, tied for highest grade. It's one of the coolest Basil Wolverton.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll get a full
Full census. Here it is.
Yep.
Does it give me totals?
Yep. If you can scroll, go to the right.
44, 49 total. And for a late 50s book, that's a popular book and a classic cover, this is harder to find. And I think I might have to resort to DS on this one. But I'm going to say this goes for at least 40,000. Because it's not, I don't see this as often. You'll see 20 Black Cat 50s before you see another one of these. It's a Harvey versus an Aragon.
Yeah, I certainly think it's neat.
I mean, for us that love the scarcity rarity factor and the cool factor, the only problem with Aragon is it's later on. It's late atomic age. You know, it's post 52, 53, 54 around that time. I don't pay attention to an Overstreet price guide ever. This is a great book.
Oh, yeah,
You know, I'm surprised when we're talking like the greatest condition PCH, we're not hitting anywhere near that Phantom Lady 17 cover price.
No, we're not in that $500,000 range.
It's amazing how high that went. It really shows that the genres are not equal.
Look at the colors all the way through. All the mummies and zombies and
Yeah, that's
you got mummies, zombies, skeletons, goblins, werewolves, Two-Face.
This is a better drawn cover, but I would still
It's
rather
Basil,
have the
isn't it?
Chamber
It's
of
Basil
Chills.
Wolverton, right? Yeah, it's Basil. Oh,
But I'd
Bernard
rather
Bailey.
have the Chamber of Chills.
It's Bailey's cover. Bernard Bailey cover, Basil Wolverton art. I mean, you got the devil cover right there. Man, I'd rather have this than have that LB Cole mask.
What's it?
Ooh, I wouldn't.
I like them both.
I'd take the mask.
What's the dollar amount right now on this?
I don't know.
11.5, not including buyer's premium.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the that one or the Chamber of Chills 19?
Well, from a pure, if you're just talking about an investment standpoint,
With
probably
Chamber
not
Chills.
19. But I mean, I
So is
like
that another Chamber of Chills right there too?
Zenado, yep.
Oh man.
But yeah, but I would agree. I like, but me personally, I like Bailey's art. Bernard Bailey, I think had fantastic. I liked a lot of his stuff. So I mean, to me, that's a much better cover. But you know, which one's, one's certainly iconic outside of the comic.
Let me see that Invaders. That Invaders cover.
The Kirby one
Yeah,
from '78. There you go.
that looks good. Not bad.
It's a Kirby drawn Thor with Hitler on it.
It's a weird looking Thor, but it's still cool. I don't know what's going on in that.
Yeah.
Does Hitler does he become an Aryan god Nazi?
I think Thor goes back in time and plays with the invaders.
To quote
Nice.
to quote probably one of my favorite comedians of all time since he just passed.
Norm?
Norm Macdonald had that line. I love that Hitler. The more I read about that guy, the more I don't like him. You know,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, it's gonna say.
Here we have a True Promise collection, Captain America 28. Kurt looks like Bucky fell off the bike and back to his normal self at this point.
It's a great book, but it's not like those other two we just saw.
Right. It's a True Promise 9/4.
Nice.
So
And you notice, so you know what's annoying to me is that first run of Promise collection books that they put out. A lot of my questioning of the grades were because they were all these printing defects.
Yeah.
Right.
And now, where are the printing defects? There's none. So they so kept all these amazing ones to the end. God. Oh, there you go. There's your Detective Comics.
Yeah, I've been looking at that one a little bit to show my cards. I have looked at this one a little bit. Yeah, I think that's the highest graded. It's certainly cool. It'll go for multiples of the 8. So it's cool though.
Oh, let me look at that
92.
I love that cover.
82. Yeah. Sun Girl or whatever. Nomura.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
It's probably just me. Every time I see,
I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit just so you can see.
I know it's Nemora. Sometimes I think like Spock was like this was like the origin of Spock when I see some of these covers. Just the way they drew him back in that time frame.
Wait,
Bob
go
Powell.
back. Who did the cover of this one again?
Bob Powell. It's a Bob Powell cover.
It's really good.
It is good.
Like, look at her hands up there. Really great hands. Look at that. And to be a first appearance, I mean, that's one of the best. You know, you can't ask for more.
And it looks like a really good grade on this.
Can't ask for more for your first appearance.
Yeah. Has some really good
You can ask
colors
no more.
I slept on this book, and I pay the price if I ever want to buy one again.
Well, I think this is going to hit 25,000.
That will be 35.
Yeah.
Say 35.
Weird Mysteries. I've got a copy of it.
Yeah, right behind you, right?
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
Got one of these.
Yeah,
this is a Bethlehem pedigree, so it's another one of those. This is a cool book.
Yeah, Bernard Bailey again, and this is this one.
I don't really understand this one. Like, what is the deal? It's a human head on.
It's creepy. People love that shit.
Yeah. Again, this is just me in the pre-code horror world. This is. I always think this book is upper echelon, but I mean, everyone's got their own beliefs. Everyone's got kind of how their subjectivity, but it's neat. So
we have what I consider one of the best bakers.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah, that
very popular, crosses over in pop culture quite a bit.
I think it's the sister of her.
Yeah,
you could be right.
Could be. Yeah, this
all the blondes are having fun, and she's like, "I'm gonna blow up that car."
Yeah, this one here is usually pricey when it comes to market every time.
Consider
that'll be
4 or 5 right there. This is gonna be.
That's a great. That's an awesome presenting 4 or 5. Geez.
Yeah, I didn't have any indications why.
What the hell looks wrong with it? Nothing.
Nope. I don't care about the Mickey Mouse.
I have the comic link if you want to jump. Oh wait, let's look at that detective.
Oh, the 33.
But it's totally all messed up.
It's another extensive one.
Yeah.
I think there was a collection there. There was one more that was in here that I'm surprised it didn't. There it is. I almost had Lewis buy this book the other day. Remember I sent the picture?
Yeah. Not this copy.
Not
but
this copy.
You know, from a con. Yeah.
I remember there was a price going around recently, and I was a little surprised at how high they wanted for it.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty good. I mean, I think they wanted 20.
Did it sell for that price?
Yeah, it did. When I went back, it was gone.
Wow. Cap. Let me see that cap too.
Yep. One more.
Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks like a good 3.0. Geez.
Yeah, they were tougher on the go. Wait a second. Is this detached? No.
How is that a 3.0?
Well, I'm going to show you something down here at the bottom.
Bottom left, maybe.
I'm going to show you here.
Okay, still
not a 3.0. It's still in the 4.
Look at that. There's no creases in there.
It looks like a nice book, to be honest with you. I mean, you know.
Wow, that's the nicest 3.0 I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
This book always sells for less than it should.
Yeah, this will be a good buy for someone.
How much? That's
You ready for comic link? Oh,
yeah.
Yep. There was one more here.
Oh, you look at that Dark Mysteries 10.
Yeah.
That's a book where I will tip my hat to DS, who's not with us this evening, but he once had, you know, maybe a year or so ago had said, hey, this, you know, keep an eye out. This is a book. And yeah, he's right in the fact that this one you don't see around again, not often. But man, I was surprised on the price of this one. Again, showing my cards, I actually bid on this thinking, well, my bid will stay out there for a little while. But look, it's already, was it 6,000-7,000 for this book? So that's cool.
62.5.
Yeah. So anyhow, I just, you know.
I bet if you bought some of the best Black Cat books, you could entice him to buy some back maybe eventually.
Hey, the Panic cover. Al Feldstein's cover's for sale. The Christmas one?
Original art. Yeah, well, yeah.
And the last one. Okay, let me go back to Knights.
Yeah, I'll share. Let's see.
Okay, and then we're ready to share. Hey, Rick, how are you? Yeah, we were showing.
You Rick?
One of the cool things we were showing was on this collection. You let me know when you're ready. From the Heritage.
All good.
We love some of this New Promise collection. This last bit of run has got us more excited than ever.
Yeah. Save the best ones for last.
Yeah.
No printing defects. Am I sharing now?
Yep.
Okay. Look at that. I do. That's a pretty awesome Punisher Jim Lee. Wow.
The War Journal. Yeah.
That's cool. It has no title on there. It looks really good. All right. So yeah, what are we looking at here?
The Marvel mystery books that are coming up.
It's gonna be, I'm guessing, in some. I haven't seen it yet. Auction underway, or is it a preview?
I think it's underway right now.
What are we looking for?
Marvel mystery. The Timelies.
Trying to recall another's.
Click Golden Age books, yeah. Oh no, that just happened. That's over with. I think it's.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if it's here, if it's Heritage. I thought I saw Marvel Mystery 3.
We're looking for a 9.
Ooh. Yeah, I think it's a 3 that I saw.
That was his. That took forever for him to find that.
Oh yeah, forever.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's harder to find than some of the other. Yeah. That's really tough to find.
All right. Well, this
Marvel mystery. Search at the top. That's what our guys are telling.
Oh, here we go.
All right. There's
That's
number 9.
Okay, yeah.
I love that book.
Only 53 on the census.
And it's my favorite one of the bunch.
Oh, it's a good one too. Look at that. It looks great. Well, it's could be better, but this is a really hard book to find. And hey, I mean, this is about as good as you're gonna get. I mean, that's not you get, and it's creamed off white. That's not bad.
No.
And there's not really any bad creasing.
Not on the not on the actual artwork.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I'm excited for someone to get this. I knew it was so worth it when I finally got mine. I put it off, but it was so worth it.
So for your Timely collection, what is the book that like you're still searching for? I guess I don't know what you have and what you don't have. You seem to amass a pretty good run, but what's
Well, I got most my ever like dreamed of books, you know.
but do you
And
just
the
have
top
like
three, the top three are this Marvel one and Cap one.
okay? I just didn't know if you had like it's tough to call any of these run fillers, but like, do you have a number that you just don't have that you're just kind of looking for Marvel mysteries? Do you have all Marvel mysteries, like the early ones? Do you have all the?
I don't have all of them for sure, but I have all the ones that I couldn't live without.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Luckily, you know, I got them, but you know, I mean, Marvel 1, I don't have a cover, so someday maybe that'd be cool. But honestly, holding it
Probably we're gonna find your
this
cover.
page is so cool that, you know, there's so much more I could rather buy with $30,000 or whatever. You know,
No, I understand. Yeah,
it's got a big piece of tape here. So is that on the other
Don't
side?
care.
Yeah, you could probably get that removed. All right, what else we got? I mean, it's just a preview, so yeah, okay.
So I think comic. If you type in the Suspense Comics 3, you should see the 6.5.
Oh, okay. Are there more Marvel mysteries?
I think there are.
There
That's a
was.
nice- good. That's
Yeah,
a good grade.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Oh,
Nothing too mind blowing. That's a good. Ooh, that's a great one. Wow, that looks really good.
and that's a 7.5 too.
7.5. Wow, yeah.
Gotta show that one.
Now that.
Do you think that one breaks $1,000?
Wow. That's a great copy. Holy.
Now, is that the first swastika flag?
Yeah. First swastika flag, and it's the second swastika on a comic ever.
Right.
And first subby cover, first Schomburg drawn subby.
No.
First time he's using a big screw to kill someone. It's a weird. It always bugged me that I don't see his wings on his feet, but that's okay. It's so early, you know.
Yeah.
At least you got the ears. At least you got the ears, you know, pretty good. And the girl is really cool. Yeah. Yep. Wow. This 7.5. That's amazing. It's a tough book. Like even these high grades, like the colors look a little bit washed out, but you don't really see better than this.
No, the yellow looks clean.
Yellow's pretty clean.
Clean book.
And it's very old. I mean, this hit stands. It was still in 39 when it hit the stands. So
right.
It's a very early book. Yeah. I would. Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than my like 1.0 or whatever the hell I have. That's a pretty good one. It's the first. Yeah, it's the first time you see Torch battling Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I dropped a big like $300 on this way back. Probably go for a lot more. It's not the best Torch, but I like these little side panels over here.
Yeah,
on the
you got
left.
Sub, Angel, and Kazar, right?
And I think it's only the like third, might be the third or second solo Torch cover. Period. So just
Okay.
shows how early it is.
Yeah, that is
And,
what's that? 7,
11.
11.
And we got one of my favorites. The first time they ever bought.
On number 15.
Yeah. Still, great Namor drawing in my opinion. And this is the first time they're on the cover together since
On the same team.
Yeah. In the tunnel that's going to the US this way.
Yeah.
Good thing they had that. They'd get lost. Yeah, that's a great book. Bondage. The Namor doesn't look too terribly worried about it though. I feel like he's just like, I'll just chill here for a bit. No big deal.
How's the story in that one? Does it?
I believe they're two separate stories.
Okay, because I don't have I have a lot of the reprints, and I don't have the reprint of that issue of like the next 6 issues. I can't find I mean, it's not a big deal. I'll find it. But when I collected to read the interiors of it, to see the war stories, what was going on with them, because I was really intrigued the fact that Namor used to just kill people.
Oh yeah.
And it was cool. But I never knew the storyline of that one.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of trick you like they're not even in the same story there. I think they are maybe in the same story with this one.
Because some of the Marvel Mystery Kazar stories I've read before in Kazar books. Actually, most of the Kazar books in the 70s, the ones that came out, were reprints of the Golden Age stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, but you didn't have that with the Human Torch. You didn't have that because you had the new, human version of it.
They did some reprints, but not too many. And even those, there were a few pages and panels that they altered. So, yeah. Yeah, not so good. They're not. Oh, this is a cool one. This is like, I feel like it's related to that other tunnel one that we just saw, because like this is another tunnel to New York.
Oh, under the.
Oh God,
that's a good one.
That's a great. I mean, look at the detail in that thing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Where's Toro? When?
Thankfully, he's not on this, which makes it more
he's
desirable.
Around. He should be around by now, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's on the inside.
Okay.
It's funny how they put their helmets on just for like 2 seconds.
The 2 inches they got to go through the water.
Oh man.
But the detail of Schomburg's work on that's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some good ones. I love this one. This is great.
That's a high grade for that book.
Yeah, this is the barbecue of Toro.
Yeah. Toro on the spigot.
Although, I mean, he's can turn himself to fire, so I'm not quite sure what.
Yeah, he's not going to hurt himself.
But it's a great composition. It's a great Schomburg. Look at that. And then I love the like stark light inside that.
Is it like underwear with a belt buckle there? Is that what that is?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Festos underwear.
And with Nazi pirates.
Yeah.
Some hooded Nazi. That's always good. That's weird how they had that 4, but they didn't have too many early ones. Well, they had the 9.
They had a 9.
This is a great one.
46.
Yeah, it's just
that's the one with the steamroller. Yeah.
Yeah, 64. It's the last war cover.
That's the one. Yeah,
last Nazi one.
Right. You brought this up, so this is the last German
Yeah.
one, and you said that was it an all
Well, there's other
all
ones that are
winners that was
similar. There's
right
like a
after it?
USA.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
USA was it right after it, or it came out the same time?
Right around this time, yeah.
Yeah,
These steamrollers must have made on
yeah,
Life magazine or something.
yeah. There was another one. There's no, yeah, there's one of those that was around.
And there's Hitler in the background, so it's pretty cool. Pretty brutal. It's funny. It's like they're in like some kind of like Coliseum or something. I mean, I don't know what the hell where they're supposed to be.
You should have worn your white heat mask now when we showed the chamber.
Hey, break that out over here. Yeah,
Here's the last war cover. And I love this one.
The Death Ray.
Yeah.
That's the last Japanese one.
Yep.
Yeah, I always thought that one was a pretty neat one. Yeah.
The Independence
And
Day.
you know, this is right before we dropped the bombs. You know,
Yeah.
the irony is interesting. That they're right above New York City. We have the Death Ray. Yeah. And there's the like similar cover to this, I think, is what is it? All it's a not MLJ, it's one of those like it's the other Schomburg where he did lots of cool Schomburg, like he like lots of groups, but they're throwing like
Nidor?
I can't remember if it was Nidor or not. You know, the one that it's the title, I think, that has it's the like Poor Man Suspense 3. You know, it's got the lady.
You talking about like all like Shock comics, Shock Suspense series?
Shock Suspense Stories?
Yeah.
No. It's a Schomburg. It's a Suspense 3 similar cover where they have the. I think DS has it. He's got the knife over the girl.
That's
You'll
Shock
know.
Suspense Stories.
It's. I'll have to show you, I guess, some point. But
Okay.
but there's a in that title. There's another one. It's very similar to this, except there's a lot of like boys and whatever. But the Japanese are throwing like some kind of like bottle of like virus or something. It's like some kind of.
It's about all new comics.
Yeah, there we go. All new.
Okay.
What the hell's the publisher?
Nidor, right?
All news Harvey.
Harvey.
Okay, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
very similar to this. I always thought those two would make a great
Bookends.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of people unloading their stuff.
Christmas time.
That's true. You can get a lot of great deals around Christmas time.
You can sometimes. That's very true.
Look at this.
The G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
This one right here and
That's-
the 9.
yeah, 9.
West.
Yeah, 9. The 209 is beautiful.
That should go for a lot.
Yeah.
And don't bother waiting for like, I'll get a 4 or whatever, because
You won't. You will not see it again.
you might wait 5
6
years or
Yeah.
something. By then, even more people are going to want it.
Yeah.
What did you want to say something else in here?
No, that was good. I want to just focus on those.
All right.
So
Good.
well, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark in a couple of 30 seconds. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here. 4 and 9.
Well, I want to show one thing on here that I thought was interesting that I forgot to mention was it's crazy how they have the 10
That's the
cents.
price down there.
That's it. Yeah, you can barely see it.
Huh.
Yeah, Rick was here. He said nice one, and he's one of the guys that I always hey, is this a Baker cover? And it was a romance book, and I couldn't be 100% sure. I always used to send messages to him. I was
yeah. And then he'd buy it.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, it's in his PC. So, anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us. We had a great time. Hopefully, DS will be back with us next time. Stay safe out there. We're not going to see anybody before Veterans Day, so I want to thank all our veterans out there. We appreciate it. And thank you for your services. We appreciate it. And have a good one. Take care, guys.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you